is this commutation different from a pardon, and what legal effects does it have? For that and more, we turn to Rick Alexander, a local attorney and former prosecutor. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Rick, okay, so tell me the difference between commuting the jail sentence and a pardon. There's a big difference.
There is a very big difference. A pardon is a complete grant of immunity. It like wipes the slate clean. What Scooter Libby got, he's still convicted of a felony, which is a very serious problem for him going on down for the rest of his life. He's now a convicted felon. He also remains on probation. He's going to have to pay a fine. So he still got punished. And of course, then there's all of the extra things, his career, the humiliation, and so forth. So he didn't get off scot-free. But a pardon would have been a complete get-out-of-jail-free card.
Right.
Blank slate is clean.
So let's talk about what goes on now in the wake of his appeal, because Libby still does have an appeal out there before the courts. He still has to pay, as you mentioned, a $250,000 fine,
Right.
and he will lose his license if this appeal does not go in his favor.
The state where he is licensed to practice law will have its own proceedings, but felony conviction like this and lying under oath, that's very, very damaging, and so I'm sure that whatever body that investigates that will consider that.
Patrick Fitzgerald, who is a special prosecutor who prosecuted this case, said in response to the president, this was not a harsh punishment, because that is what President Bush said when he commuted that jail sentence. What does it say about the impartiality of the system?
Well, I don't know that 30 months for perjury is a harsh sentence.
And obstruction of justice.
Yes.
But it was a case in which the identity of a CIA agent was leaked.
Right. The interesting thing about that is they could never really prove that. What they were able to prove against Libby was that he lied, and that was the whole case that they brought against him. Once again, it's the cover-up that really brings people down. But people lie under oath every day, and I don't want to diminish the problem that is. It is a problem, but it happens a lot, and it's not very often prosecuted. It's very, very uncommon, actually.
The biggest presidential pardon in our time seems to be when President Ford pardoned former President Nixon.
Right.
How often does this happen?
It happens, and often at the end of the term. President Clinton made some pardons that raised some eyebrows as well. But President Bush really had to make this. He had to commute the sentence now because he's going to go to jail. So if he was going to do it, he kind of had to do it now. So he sort of took the middle road and commuted it.
Right, and not wait until the end of his administration.
Right.
Okay, Rick Alexander, thanks for joining us this
My
morning.
pleasure.
I'm sure we're going to hear more about this throughout the days. Meantime, 7:25, can your sense of smell be an indicator of Alzheimer's? New research suggests a scratch and sniff